Good Friday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. It is 6:40. This is something we do typically Tuesday through Friday mornings, but I do want to tell you this. We got a little bit of fog in some spots. We've had that, what seems like day after day, down to zero visibility in Jack Sparrow, LaFollette, and Caryville, down to about a mile or less for Wartburg, Oak Ridge, and Middlesboro. So a little heads up, a little more fog for you, and if you need to get out the door extra early and listen to me while you drive, or perhaps just have you on your phone, that'd be great too. But I want to give you some great information regarding the tropics and also what's going to be happening at the Vols game. By the way, there's one red flag with a black rectangle in the middle. That's indicative of a tropical storm. If there were two, it would be a hurricane. So if you were concerned or what that means, we have something that's going to impact North Carolina here this weekend, something to watch very closely. This is the future of potential tropical cyclone number 16. I think the absolute worst name on the planet, but that's just me. If you're going to call her Ophelia, well, just go ahead and do it. But the Hurricane Center still maintaining PTC 16. I mean, it's like a Scrabble puzzle. I mean, do you really? Give me your feedback on it. But anyway, let me show you where this storm, whatever you call him or her, is going. It's going toward Wrightsville Beach, Wilmington. This is about 8:45 tonight. Look at the center circulation, pretty clear. Maybe headed toward the Cape Fear area around Wilmington, Wrightsville Beach, Carolina Beach, and Jacksonville. Something to watch very closely, no doubt. This will be a strong tropical storm when it makes landfall and may work its way toward the state capital, toward Raleigh and Goldsboro by, say, Saturday midday. 5 o'clock, it may be stretching into Virginia at that time. And this storm system, if you're traveling east, is going to impact some rain, heavy rain, and surf, and rip currents, and, of course, lots of wind. But it's not going to have that much of an impact here at all. In fact, I think if we get some showers in Bristol, Tennessee, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised. It's going to, at some point, precipitation has to end. It might as well end in Bristol. It's not going to be here. We will get some rain opportunities going into the week ahead, but it's not this weekend. Does that make sense? We do get some rain next week, but just not this weekend. Future of potential tropical cyclone 16. I'm going to talk more about the official track on that here in just a few moments. By the way, the Ultimate Doppler radar presented by A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling, focused on customer satisfaction. They won't quit until you're happy. Check them out at a1fincham.com. I have a link at the top of this Facebook post if you're in need to make sure that your heating and air conditioning system is working properly, and maybe your heating system if you're ready for this upcoming winter. I do have some maps to show you associated with PTC 16. All the rain off the coast of North Carolina is indicative of this storm coming and closing in on shore there. We also have some rain in Arkansas and Oklahoma and back toward Missouri, but not a whole lot here. But those thunderstorms are going to continue to grow, and anyone that may have planned a beach vacation this weekend, you might be disappointed when lifeguards tell you to come inside because of the rip currents. Yeah, no fun there. All right, one day until autumn. In fact, it's probably less than that because at 2:50 tomorrow morning, while many of us are asleep, Saturday morning is when fall officially begins. Oh yes, we can officially toast the pumpkin spice. The Earth is tilted on that axis of 23.5 degrees. That's what gives us our seasons. You might say, why is 2:50 so magical? It's just the astronomical time that astronomers have determined when we will officially change our season. So obviously, some like those long days of summer, we're moving toward the shorter days of winter, but right now we're in the middle. So the equinox, equal day, equal night, it's neither tilted toward or away from the sun at this time, so equal amount of daylight and darkness at all latitudes. I want to say good morning to you. We're currently in the 50s to near 60, and we're going to be headed back into the low to mid 80s today. If you're on the call, let me know. I'd love to say hi to you. Diane's on Facebook. She says, oh, she's got all her fall colors. I love it. Thank you, Diane. And Danny says, go Vols. Hope you have a wonderful Friday. Thank you, Danny. Carrie, good Friday morning. Hope everyone has a great day. She's got her cup of coffee in her heart. Happy Friday to Carrie and Diane saying good morning to you. And I'm also on YouTube, so we're doing two. I got two people on here. If you got a comment, you could be the first on YouTube. I'll talk more about YouTube here in a second, but I do want to mention this autumnal equinox thing will get us into the mindset that we're now officially saying goodbye to summer. Now, yesterday, I told you that I would advance this story, and I live up to my word. I told you I'd advance this story, and I'm going to. These green numbers represent the normals, which is another way of saying the averages from 1991 to 2020. So if you get 4.76 inches of rain in January with some melted snow, you'd say, well, that's normal. But what if you get more? What if you get less? Everybody puts a lot of emphasis on normals, and that's okay. But these are the normals, and that was very helpful. I posted this map yesterday. But when I advance it, I'm going to show you what I mean. Let me move. Oh, I put the 2023 actual numbers in black. So we've had, if you look at September, and if you really love numbers, you could just, this is like a buffet. I have 0.35. That's the amount of rain Knoxville, McGehee, Tyson has received so far as of 21 days in September. Now, today's the 22nd, and we're not going to get any rain today. Tomorrow's the 23rd. We're not going to get any rain tomorrow or this weekend. But I do anticipate some rain around, say, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, especially Wednesday, Thursday of next week. So if we pick up another ½ inch to an inch, it wouldn't surprise me. And it could bring us up closer maybe to the 2-inch mark. But even 2 inches by the end of September still puts us below the average of 3.49. So just want to throw that out there. We're now about even for the year. But out of these 9 months, 4 of them have been above average. January, March, June was an above average month. And of course, we had it above average in August. So it just like the tide, it comes and it goes. And people get too, no need to panic. It's just what it is. But we are moving into the driest season because look at October, 2.81. October is typically the driest month of the year based on those 30 years. So anyway, I will post more of this in the near future. By the way, the moisture deficit is growing just over the last 30 days. Boy, where you see orange, which we love in Tennessee, but not on this map, that's over 2 inches of a deficit. So like Decatur, Kingston, and Clinton, you are parched. You're like, I need a drink of water. That's how some of you feel like. Your lawn is screaming, I need a drink of water. And maybe that's the case, but that's what that moisture deficit map indicates. Some of the areas in purple, maybe 1/10 of an inch on the deficit or in the hole for the month. But those really dry areas stretch from basically Knoxville to Chattanooga and other areas west toward Nashville. So I just want to kind of cover some really interesting information you may not get anywhere else. And the drought monitor, which comes out every Thursday morning around 8:30, shows that there is a drought, or at least abnormally dry conditions are now declared for Chattanooga. So the Southern Valley is technically, arguably, level 1 on the drought monitor, while we have just exceptionally dry weather. We could use some rain, and we'll get some next week. But boy, are they off the chart in Houston, off the chart in Dallas. They're in the extreme and exceptional drought. And New Orleans as well, southern Mississippi. They could really use some rain there. And you can see there's some really dry areas up toward Minneapolis, not far from Omaha. And so it goes. So that's your drought monitor. All right, temperatures, 648, 60 degrees. I thought you said we were in the 50s. Most of us are in the 50s, to be fair. Johnson City's 55. We got 58 in Oak Ridge. We got 57 in Rockwood. And I have a little eyedropper here to help me out with the Crossville, because their airport temperature is not maybe down for repair, but they are approximately 53. So it's a nice cool 53 in Cumberland County, but 55 Athens. And there's a 61 there in Morristown. Morristown, you are representing the low 60s this morning. 58 in Newport. If you're on the call, we're headed to about 84 today in Knoxville. And it's Friday. Hey, Friday. If you're on YouTube, let me know. Love to see you here. And I'm back on Facebook over here. Darcy says she's got dense fog day number 4. Wow. And it's going to be another fog patchy morning tomorrow. So if Darcy's going to sleep in, she won't feel that as bad. But please be safe. She says, have an amazing weekend. Thank you, Darcy, for being here and being one of my premium members. Esther Atkins says, good morning, David. 54 in Washburn. Thank you, Esther. And Denise says she's just loving these cool mornings. Ed says, good morning, have a wonderful weekend and happy fall. I've got my checkerboard tie on. I think we're going to score a lot of points this weekend. And I'm going to get to the Vols forecast coming up, as well as more on the tropics. So bear with me. It's 6:49. These are your current temperatures as of 6 o'clock. So we're starting off generally in the upper 50s to near 60 across much of the area, mid-50s for the plateau. Dew point temperatures. Upper 50s, very comfortable. Not going to worry about sticky weather, at least here. It's hard to find any sticky weather on this map. Now, where you see some green, like Mississippi, Alabama, maybe comes and goes there. But really, I mean, we're talking comfortable weather. The stuffy weather where tropical air is moving in covers Virginia Beach. Well, that makes sense. Covers the Outer Banks. That makes sense. But it's not going to affect us here. And without the moisture, you're just not going to get the rain associated with PTC 16. You see what I mean? Let's just call her Ophelia. That's my plea to the Hurricane Center. Let's just pull the trigger. She's got winds over 50 miles an hour. I think we can call her Ophelia, but that's just me. All right, tracking the humidity. There's more of that toward Memphis and Birmingham, and so it goes. So a really quiet humidity pattern. There is none. Wind speeds are currently 5 miles an hour in Knoxville. I expect about, I expect about 5 to 10 perhaps by the afternoon. It'll pick up out of the northeast. Now, we're looking at the cloud cover because we're still a little more than a half hour away from sunrise. There's not a lot of clouds to see, but as Darcy pointed out, it can be quite foggy, so please give yourself some extra time. That's why I led with the fog visibility map. Meanwhile, tracking clouds, not a whole lot here. It's all far to the west or all far to the east. That's been my theme with my premium members since, I don't know, Sunday evening when I did a Facebook Live for them. I said, it's all going to be the west or the east, right in the middle. Where all the subsidence and dry air lives, that's where we are. And it's just where things are. Here are the temperatures where I expect to be for today. Here is your forecast. Hazy sun and clouds today. It'll be warm for this time of year. 82 for Morristown, 84 for Oak Ridge, and I'm expecting 82 in Tellico Plains. So those are my expectations. Crossville, 78, upper 70s for Jamestown. Sunrise, sunset times today. Oh, they're changing. They're getting closer together. 724 and 733. So wait a minute. I thought tomorrow's the equinox. They should match. It should be one number should match the other number. True, but it may very well take a week later where you see that curvature of the earth. And in springtime, it's the other. It comes a week early. It's very weird, but that's the way it works because of where we are, latitude and longitude. Our 724 sunrise will be followed up with a sunset at 7:33 today. All right, so bus stop forecast. Kids are getting off to school this morning with a little bit of fog, absolutely, but 67 by 10, comfortable for any recess for elementary school students, and then 2 o'clock should be around 80 degrees. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I hope you'll do so. It's free. I just need, I think about maybe a couple dozen more, and I'll hit the 1,000 benchmark, but it's very easy to find. It's youtube.com, but they throw in that /@ symbol, and then it's Captain Accurate. So if you're on the YouTube, let me know, because I'd love to be able to give you a shout out. If you leave me a comment, I will magnify your voice. But there are a couple people on here as well. And as we look back at Facebook, I got Wanda Poe, David Morning, and yay for fall. Linda Rice says good morning. She's watching from Cumberland Gap, Tennessee. Thank you, Linda, for representing Cumberland Gap. And she says, have a great day. So very thankful that Linda's here. Maybe some of you have never left a comment. You can do that. I'd love to read it. I do check them out even throughout the day. Now, I have some good news on the ragweed front. It's no longer high, but it's arguably more moderate. So if you're still having symptoms, well, you can probably blame the ragweed. But as I mentioned, it typically hits its fever pitch around the Labor Day weekend and thereafter. But we are now expecting ragweed to be on the high moderate side at this time. Go Vols, hashtag Go Big Orange. I can't leave out this. This is the tailgating forecast with my checkerboard tie. I got the checkerboard tie. I'm trying to match it up. It's going to look good for the game, right? We just need to score lots of touchdowns and all the rest. So I'm excited about this game, as I'm sure you are. Maybe you've got cornhole planned, but temperatures by noon 73, 2 o'clock 78. And if you're still in the parking lot at 4 o'clock, well, what are you waiting for? Come on inside. The game's on at 4. Come on inside. So the kickoff, 4 o'clock tomorrow. I did modify my winds from 3 to 8 to 5 to 10 plus because we've got PTC 16 off the coast, and we may see more of a wind come up out of the northeast. We'll say generally north, about 5 to 10 plus, and it's mostly sunny. So that's my expectation. But still kickoff, run 82, 78 at halftime, should finish the game at the end of the fourth quarter at 72 degrees. Of course, our Vols taking on UTSA. That's the University of Texas at San Antonio. All right, here are my headlines at 6:54. I just jam-packed so much information on because of the tropics. That's coming up more here in a moment. But beautiful today, spectacular on Saturday because I smell a victory, and then more sunshine on Sunday. How's that for a headline? Now, as we can see, there's a storm brewing here. This has been well advertised. This storm is now taking shape on the beaches of North Carolina, and the wave heights are beginning to show signs of that growing. Now, why would I say rip currents would be an issue? Well, I thought this is headed to North Carolina. It is. But if you planned a Myrtle Beach vacation, if you planned even a Tybee Island vacation this weekend, you will notice the waves are getting higher. and would throw in some rip currents. Granted, it's not as big as some of the other storms we saw this summer, but this has got 17-foot waves already at this time, and it's just now continuing to grow. All right, so here is the latest storm, potential tropical cyclone 16. Boy, I just hate saying that. 50 miles per hour. It will be moving towards, say, maybe east of Wilmington on this Hurricane Center expectation with winds of 60. So 1 o'clock in the morning, just about as we turn the autumnal equinox corner, because that's at 2:50 in the morning, they'll be approaching 60 miles an hour. So this storm will maybe arguably be a fall landing tropical storm for North Carolina. And then it works its way toward Richmond, works its way toward D.C. as it decays. And you can see by the time we move into maybe Monday, there's hardly a remnant of it as a tropical depression. But that's where it's tracking. There's another storm that could follow quickly in the Atlantic, and this is the path it would take. This could become, say, Philippe, if Ophelia is finally declared. So I feel like when we finally get Ophelia, I think we can dispense of the acronym PTC-16. Ophelia, Philippe, and Rena are the next names on the list. It is 6:56. My goal is to be done at the top of the hour. I think I can do my best. My Storm Prediction Center maps, I don't know if I line these up perfectly, but I'll do my best. Let's see if I have it to the north. Does it move up north? Yeah, there we go. Anyway, you can see there's some areas right along the Nebraska, South Dakota area for some scattered severe storms. Yep, that didn't go where I wanted to. But there is some severe weather concerns along the coast and across the Midwest, as you can see. You see, I went to the wrong side there. But it would be like Kansas City, Oklahoma City, some problem spots there. And along the coast, you can see the Carolinas, Virginia, for some isolated severe storms. But nothing going on here. That's just the way it goes. And then there's a last note here. Sunday, some Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth area could find some scattered severe storms. We'll be watching that as well. So it takes me in that direction. But there you go. So here's your forecast, starting off with our current conditions. It's right now, as of approaching now 7 o'clock. This is a 7 o'clock number. We're at 57 degrees. Dew point very comfortable at 56. And we have no wind to speak of. Now, here's the best news if you want some rain. I have some rain coming in, if not spotty on Tuesday, but a pretty good chance Wednesday, Thursday, where we could pick up, I'd say, a ½ inch to an inch of rain these 2 days. Not each day, but collectively, about a ½ inch to an inch of rain. That would help. That would help the dryness that maybe you're experiencing in your lawn, or if you're doing some gardening in the fall here. So we're talking about rainfall finally making a return visit next week. Average high is 81, headed to 84 today. Hazy sun and clouds, and that's what I expect. So it's now 6:58. Let's get to the future cast. Where will this rain be for soon-to-be Ophelia? Well, you got Jacksonville, some bands, Raleigh, Virginia Beach, and you might say, well, it's got to be coming here, right? Not so fast. It's going to be trying to move into some very dry air. As I said, it could make it to Bristol, Tennessee. It could make it to the Tri-Cities based on this map, but you'll notice it really has a hard time getting down here. I suspect it'll dry up pretty quickly, and then it works its way up toward West Virginia as it rolls through Virginia at that time. And it got dry weather heading into Sunday as it's all trying to move into a very dry atmosphere. Another look at this futurecast is very helpful if you're planning lunch outside at noon. Where are we temperature-wise at noon? We're about 76. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet at lunchtime today, and lots of sunshine. Don't expect these raindrops to appear. Think it's bad data, as we'll find a nice dry day. And then as we move into tomorrow morning, we're in the upper 50s. This model wants to put some of that rain in the Tri-Cities. Again, hopeful, wishful thinking maybe, because they need the rain too. But temperatures will be finishing on Saturday, I think around 82 for kickoff, and then finishing the game at the lower 70s, about 72 to finish the game. Sunday morning, we're back in the mid-50s. So for today, at 6:59, hazy sun and clouds, say scattered clouds, warm afternoon for this time of year, winds about 3 to 8 miles per hour. Today, 79 for Oneida, 78 for Sevierville Pigeon Forge, 83 for Newport. So we're going to be watching that very closely. 81 in La Follette. Those are my high temperatures for today. I see another note from Sarah Smith. She's watching from Maryville. Thank you, Sarah, for representing Maryville. We have a couple of Maryville's, say, frequent visitors on the Facebook side of Captain Accurate. Then we move back over toward Facebook, YouTube. Oop, got still 2 people over here, but maybe someone will want to leave me a comment. I'd love to magnify your voice. Whether you do that while we're live or on delay, I will still check it heading forward into the afternoon. Today, looking for a high for Travelers, 86 for Nashville, mid-70s for Greensboro, and 77 for Charlotte. That's my expectation. It is now 7 o'clock. Here's your forecast for tonight. 57 becoming mostly clear because there will be some residual clouds for the drive home. And then tomorrow morning, sorry, Darcy, more patches of fog. But perhaps, perhaps you can sleep in, Darcy. You won't have day number 5 because 4 days in a row is a bit challenging, no doubt. All right, 55 for low in the Follett tonight. If you're in Kingston, Harriman, Rockwood, 58, 55 Newport, Parrotsville, Del Rio, White Pine, Dandridge, Morristown, Alpha, 55, 57 Maryville, Alcoa, 53 in Crossville, about 51 in Middlesboro, and Cumberland Falls, or Cumberland Gap, 84 for a high temperature today. 82 on Saturday. We covered the autumnal equinox. We've covered the tropics. We've covered pollen. We've covered the drought monitor. And boy, did I go the distance with the summary of rainfall. You're like, that was very interesting. No, nobody else has told me that. I know that's what you're thinking, right? And if you just join me, you go, what is he talking about? You might have to rewind this video to see what I was talking about for the Knoxville rainfall summary so far this year. I think it's fascinating. It's interesting. But again, it's normal, but why be normal? Because rarely are we ever normal. Things usually ebb and flow. 83 Monday, Tuesday, back in the 70s on Wednesday, Thursday. That's our best chance for rain, as it will be a little bit of a nice change of pace. Nobody likes rain on weekends, but I see this rain midweek next week, and we'll keep an eye on that as well. So anyway, thank you so much for your time this morning. It's now 7:02. I will sign off. I hope you have a great weekend. Go Vols. Hope for a high-scoring game, and thoughts and prayers and well wishes for our friends in the Carolinas, because they're going to have a little bit of a hard time this weekend with this storm. Anyway, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.